schedule at WUTQFM.com. Today's talk radio is on the FM dial on Talk 100.7 FM.
Continuing, we have a couple minutes maybe with Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. Sticking with us through the break there. Thank you, Congresswoman. So I know you probably only have a few minutes. Well, I don't know, 5 or so. Does that work?
At the most, yeah. I'm
going
to do another radio show, and I got to go to an event at 8:30.
All right. Well, we'll get you out of here. Rocco, you want to start off? I don't know. You want to throw one at her before?
I just wanted to get your reaction to quickly the news yesterday from a couple of these special elections that took place mainly in Ohio and Kansas. Two of the individuals that President Trump came out there strong for have what looks like razor-thin leads right now. For those races. So I know that there was a lot of talk about them being a sign of what the Democrats might potentially, what threat they might be to the Republican majority down the road for the midterms. But still, at the end of the day, potentially both of these could be Republican wins.
In Kansas? Yeah,
that was for the governor.
Oh, the governor. Okay,
yes.
Right. I think that it's a very, very, it's going to be a very competitive race. I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about the Ohio candidate. I do know one of the issues. I don't know Troy Balderson.
Yep.
That was he replaced a guy named Congressman Teaberry, and I think Trump won that district by 11 points. So he's a longtime incumbent, and I think a very popular longtime incumbent. And I think it's August in a special election where you're going to see, there's more of an energized turnout on the side of the Democrats, and the Republicans are enjoying their tax cuts, and I think they're not as engaged maybe. But I think that the president's right, though. I think this will change when you get to Election Day and people get back from vacation. But I do think it's a highly energized environment. It's competitive. I think the big difference between the Balderson race and this one, from what I know, and I don't have all the facts, is that he was running against a guy who had no record. So he could claim and allege that he stands for all these things. Contrast with my district, Anthony Brindisi is trying to pretend that he has no record. And the OD and a number of media outlets will not discuss his record of voting for late-term abortion, voting for government takeover of health care, including union plans and everything else. They won't talk about the fact that he was the very last person in the local area to come out against Sheldon Silver and refuse to comment, and that Sheldon Silver funded his campaign, and that he's been in the middle of all these corruption schemes. I'm not saying but he's been, at least complacent about them or part of them, and not to mention the downtown hospital, all these things.
Claudia, let me interrupt because I want you to respond to this while you have time.
Yeah.
I talked about this a little bit off the air. There was an ad running against you that says you voted for a $9 billion tax cut for Spectrum. Can you respond to that?
Yeah, I think I find it impossible to believe that Spectrum would get that kind of tax cut. I voted for the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which were tax cuts for individuals, for corporations, for pass-throughs. And by the way, 98% of the businesses in our community are small businesses. Those are the people getting a tax cut. And the biggest tax cut and the most went to, and the biggest benefit we're seeing is to small and medium-sized businesses. I really would think somebody should fact-check that $9 billion, because I know for a fact that Corning, which was founded in Corning, New York, got a tax break as well, but they had to pay a huge amount, over $1 billion up front, and they're repatriating thousands of jobs back to the United States from overseas, which is a huge benefit, and they're making a long-term investment. And I have not talked to any business in upstate New York in my tour that has not benefited from tax reform. They are all praising it. They're giving out raises. They're giving out bonuses. They're adding jobs. They're buying equipment. And our biggest problem right now is getting people to work. And we need jobs. We need people to come in and take these jobs. Just to clarify on that,
clarifying that one issue, this was not a special tax cut that you voted for Spectrum. This was the across the board tax cut that everybody got. I just want to clarify that.
So, okay. Absolutely. I mean, it's a deceitful ad, and it's false. And look, the choice is very clear this year. You're going to vote for abolishing ICE and the takeover of this country with socialists, or you're going to vote for someone who's going to lower your taxes, give everybody economic opportunity. I mean, that's really the simple choice this year.
All right.
Unfortunately, not enough people know how bad socialism is. I encourage everyone to follow what's going on in Venezuela. This is just another of hundreds of examples of how socialism fails. And if you want to see how devastating it is, watch these poor people from Venezuela. They've already eaten all their pets, and now they're eating the animals in the zoo that are starving because they don't have any food. It's a disaster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
Thank you.
I got to run, though. Thank you so much, you guys, and I'll keep you posted on the visit coming from President Trump as we find more information.
Sure, right, I know, and I apologize for the Renew NY22 stuff. I know you've been out and about in the community.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, every day, I do the same thing every day, whether I'm campaigning or whether I'm not. I mean, every day is just trying to get to as many people as I can, whether it is the day after Election Day in 2016 to today. And, it's an honor and it's a privilege to do this job, and that's why I'm trying to get to as many people. I'm a strong advocate. I'm fighting for us. I think it's a big deal that we were able to get the president here, and it just shows that the president wants to be a partner with us. He recognizes that I'm a strong advocate, for a region that really is starving for help on a national level. So I'm going to continue to fight every day. I think these are great gains for our region, and let's keep them coming.
All right, Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, keep us up to date on what's going on with the visit from the president. All right, thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it. She's been out and about. She was at CABV over the week, the library in Utica yesterday. She's out and about in our community again today. Just looking through